Hi everyone, I'm Bill, William Anderson, a random truck driver, and if I get 10 million subscribers to my YouTube channel, I will run for President of the United States. When I told my family about my idea to do this, they told me it was not an original idea. Other people have done it. Some have done it as a joke, like their cat will run if they get so many subscribers, or their dog will run. Well, I never tried it, and they told me that I don't have any chance of winning. I don't think I have a chance of winning either, but I've accomplished things before that I thought were impossible, so I don't think this should be any different. I think I would be a better president than any of the other candidates, not because I'm the most intelligent or the best qualified. I'm just a truck driver. I'm not even a good speaker, but because my goal is to improve the well-being of the American people. Their goal is to do barely enough to help the American people to prevent you from revolting. I would be the most honest, transparent president that you have ever seen. Full disclosure, I don't really want to be president. The pay sounds good, but the job sounds terrible. I hope to just grow my YouTube channel and get paid by AdSense. But if I get my 10 million subscribers and see I have a lot of support, I will run anyway and do the best I can to win. Because I think we're all sick and tired of being told we have to choose the lesser of the two evils. If I run as independent, then you'll only have to pick between the lesser of the three evils. That's a joke. Our democracy has been captured by a bunch of rich, corrupt people who don't care anything about the American people. All they care about is holding on to their power. They will lie, cheat, or do whatever they have to in order to keep their jobs. I'm really happy with my job and life as it is now, so I really don't want to be president. But with all the corruption I see, somebody has to do something about it, so it might as well be me. Now, in order to be transparent and honest, I'm going to tell you about the bad things about me. I have made a lot of mistakes in my life and done a lot of wrong things. I failed out of college because at the time I lacked the self-discipline to work hard, and I drank a lot of alcohol. I eloped with a crazy woman and had 2 kids with her. I was kicked out of the army after a year because I was married to a crazy woman. I'm not proud of any of that, and I wish I was making it up, but it's all true. So if you don't like any of that, then I might not be the right guy for you, which is fine. But if you're still here, now let me tell you some of the things I have accomplished, some things I thought would be impossible. I got my kids back and raised them as a single father and did a good job. I quit drinking 3 years ago. I overcame serious depression. I once walked half a mile while throwing up blood. When they put me in the back of the ambulance, my blood pressure was 60/40, which meant I was walking during that time. Now, I know a lot of people aren't going to believe that story, but it's true. But even if you believe that last story, you're probably asking, well, what would that have to do with being a good president? I'll tell you what, I have it in my heart when I get dedicated to something to not give up and to give it everything I've got. If I overcome all the odds and somehow find myself in the Oval Office, I'm going to do an hour of PT every morning. The reason is because I believe in leading by example. And if the military is required to do PT every morning and stay in good shape, then I'm going to do the same. I would encourage everyone to eat healthy, exercise, and get good sleep, all of which I do now in order to provide a good example. And that would reduce a lot of the health problems that people suffer in this country. Now for some campaign promises. Half of the funding for the FDA comes from the pharmaceutical companies that they are supposed to be regulating. I think this causes a conflict of interest, and it gets drugs approved like Vioxx that should never be approved. I would stop all that with an executive order and say the FDA is not going to receive funding from pharmaceutical companies anymore. But I would work to increase their funding from taxes. I'm going to be reading from my notes, by the way. When pharmaceutical companies have a trial for a new medication and submit the research to be peer-reviewed, they are not required to release the actual data of the studies to the peer reviewers. They only give their evaluation of the data. This is insane. I would give an executive order saying the FDA will not approve any drug if the actual data from the studies are not released to the peer reviewers. Also, I've learned from listening to a scientist that 75% of the new drugs that pharmaceutical companies come out with are nothing more than taking old drugs, changing a molecule or two, renaming it, and then saying it's some new drug that's going to be better than the old drug. I would appoint someone in charge of the FDA that would put a stop to this. I also support legalizing drugs like cocaine, heroin, and methamphetamine and treating these drugs the way we treat alcohol. I think we should tax them and use the funds from the tax to create a universal basic income. I think drugs like roofies and antibiotics should be illegal. I would issue an executive order to the DEA changing their mission from persecuting drug dealers and drug users to going after sexual predators, especially sexual predators of children. Drug users and drug addicts do not deserve or need to be punished. They need compassion. By the way, I stole that idea from Jesse Ventura. I would also mass pardon a lot of non-violent drug offenders. And I would pardon Edward Snowden. Instead of trying to secure our southern border with the wall, it would make more sense to me to secure it by investing in drones to help customs agents to patrol the area. I'm going to go back to reading my notes. I think we should legalize prostitution, but strictly regulate it. It can only take place in brothels, and everyone who chooses to get involved with this business better take every precaution to make sure they have safe sex. If not, they will be shut down and face criminal penalties. I think this would reduce the spread of STDs. I wouldn't even want to take any classified documents out of the White House. And just so you know, the reason I don't shave or dress up fancy for these videos is because I don't want to. I don't like to. I'm not going to pretend to be somebody that I'm not. Also, I pride myself on being open-minded. I am not married to any of my ideas that I've given you. So if you see some problems with it, make a good, cogent argument, and I will change my mind. So if you're not okay with all of that, then I'm not your guy. Don't subscribe, which is fine by me. I understand, no problem. But if you are, I have other videos that I've made on my YouTube channel discussing my various political views on different issues. Go check them out. If you agree with me and you'd like to see somebody like me become president, subscribe to my channel. If not, that's fine too. And if I did not cover one of the issues that you feel strongly about, let me know in the comments and I'll do that.